Hi everyone, it's Scrappy Kathy here with Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. And this month I have picked a layout of crystals, aka pineapple papers, to lift. I didn't get this off Pinterest. I got it off of Instagram. So, but I could pretend that it was on Pinterest, and it may well be on Pinterest. I just happened to find it when she put it out on Instagram. I immediately printed it and put it in my to be lifted file. So I'm probably cheating, but I'm doing it anyway. This is an amazing layout. I love all the paper layers. This is the sketch that she was using. She did day 13 of the 30 days of sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And I did this one too. I couldn't tell you what I did with it. I'm pretty sure I used doilies because there are doilies there. And I think I used some leaves down here. But she's used the paint drips and lots of layers and some kind of girly embellishments around just an adorable picture of sweetest face on this little girl ever. And it's kind of an affirmation sort of a page. It's just really beautiful, and so I'm going to do a grungy sports page instead. But I'm going to go with the layers, and I'm somewhat limiting myself in that I am doing a I'm trying to be more responsible in my kit subscriptions. And so where some kits had begun to kind of build up, I've stopped the subscription altogether or put it on pause. And in other cases where I was subscribing to every piece that was possible in a kit, all the associated kits, I've gotten it down, reduced it down to the main one. And I'm going to try to kill a few of those so that I can just not have things stacking up. You know what I'm talking about. I think we've all been there. So this is what's left of my Mind the Scrap May kit. I've got this 12 by, well, I mean, it's not all of it, but I've got this 12 by 12 piece of paper from Brave and Bold by Amy Tangerine. And I'm going to cut the strip off of it. And I'm going to use the black and white streaky looking page. And I'm going to have the streaks going horizontally for no particular reason other than it kind of looks like rain if you do it that way. And that's not, the mood I want to do. This is my photo, and I've already put a title on there, and it's kind of wonky, and I'd like to say that was intentional, but, it isn't. I had it coming down to Barrett, and this kid's taller than him, so the letters needed to kind of get wonky in order to fit around his head, and I could have centered it better, but I think I'm going to put a flare here or some embellishment. So I've got some scraps, and I'm going to use both sides of these. This scrap actually I used a die that has stitching on the outside of the die as well as on the inside. So I'm going to cut that and make that into a frame that I'll use somehow there. So let me, instead of telling you that I'm going to do that, I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know, maybe do that. Let's see. That looks like it's about the right size. And then I've got this other side. This is a pink fresh paper, I'm going to say, based on this. And I'm sure I can use some pieces of that. I've got this that has the kind of pink swirlies on one side and the orange. Here's another one of those frames that I can use as a frame. So I'll do that. And I've got this strip from an authentic paper that I used last week. And this and the little tiny strip I just used have been following me around in my craft room, so I'm finally get rid of it. There are these Brave and Bold hexagon puffy stickers that have a lot of interesting images on them. I have pulled into the kit this teal colored camera that has also been following me around, and I have actually tried to make it work on maybe the last 4 or 5 layouts I've done. And I've picked my 3 flares. I've got a little tub of sequins. There are silver normal shaped sequins and there are black stars. And since it's a sports page, I thought I might sprinkle some of those around. And I've also got the embellishments that came. Here's another one of those frames. I'm going to use the pink side, and I'll kind of hide that. And there's some other bits from previous. The ephemera that came with that came from the Paige Evans Wonders collection, and I can already see some labels in here that I will probably want to use. And there's a frame that says Beautiful Day. There's one that says Good Day. I don't think I can use that one. Stop and Smell the Roses, probably not. I kind of like the saturation of that color. Joy is an appropriate sentiment, but I'm not sure all of that would go with the mood of my photo. So I'm gonna, here's kind of what I think I'm gonna work with. And then I may pull something else. So the first thing I'm gonna do is something that I have no idea what I'm doing. I want to make those splatters, and those are the drips, not the splatters. The splatters I can manage, but I want to make drips, and I kind of want it sort of, let's see, I want that kind of around here, and that's going to determine where all the rest of this photo cluster goes. So I've got this that came in a previous Mind the Scrap kit, and I'm going to try something I haven't tried before. I have a water brush. It has some liquid in it. Not sure what that is, but it's pretty disgusting looking. Now I'm going to pour this ink, and I'm going to try to do it without messing up the paper there. Let me use a piece of scrap paper here. This is actually something I want to lift. I've already lifted this. So let me do this. I'm going to pour some of this ink. This is Heidi Swapp Color Shine in Sweet Mint. I'm going to pour it into the, okay, that's not going to be easy to do. I should scrap the drips I'm creating here. Okay, then I'm going to do this, and let me find something to wipe my hands on, and then I'm going to squeeze it out and blow on it with a drinking straw. Do you think that'll work? I have no idea, but we can try. So here's my test. This is not one of the good Vicky Bouton paint thing, and because it's ink, it's a different viscosity. It's not going through the brush very well, so this may be a colossal bust. But if I do the part of the paper that's going to be under the photo anyway, then if I work fast enough, I should be able to do some of that. And Sarah Scraps taught me how to do that. Okay, so kind of works on the test paper. Let's see how it works on the cardstock. Okay. Get that in there. Wish me luck. Let me get this oriented the right way. So I'm going to kind of do it right there, because I think that's the part that's going to be under things. Oop, I've got a bit over there, but that's okay because I'm going to do some splatters later. That's a long drip. Not exactly what I was going for. Let's see, can you see that? Well, who says it has to be exactly the same length drips, right? Okay, so having done that, let me now pull this. Oops. And that has kind of caused some blotchy blotches, but you know, if you call it mixed media, pretty much you can get away with anything. Now, theoretically, what I should do, and if I weren't filming this, I would probably get my heat gun and kind of dry that up to spread out the wrinkles there. However, I know that my photo cluster is going to go on top of that. Just, you know, if you kind of look at this, it's going to go kind of right there. We know at least, you know, even without any layers around it, the photo is going to go there. So the very first layer I'm going to put behind the photo. Now kind of put this off to dry. We will build, and I'm going to put this wet stuff way over here so that I don't knock it over. I'm going to keep this around because I'm going to make some splatters later. So put it on top of my laptop. That makes sense, right? Okay, this I'm going to just kind of go with cut a 4x4 square and kind of see how it works out there. I'll kind of do that and have it at a little bit of an angle, and I'll just kind of tack that down. I want to use some of this, and I really like the part that has those numbers, and so I might want something like that. So let me do this, and then I want to use that as well. So if I do this, you can see these numbers vertically, and then you see these over here, and I kind of like that. Now I want to add in these. That's kind of bent. Well, let me. I don't like that I cut that in the middle of the row of letters. So let me do that kind of sticking up right there, and I'll let the whole GHI show there. Okay, there. Now let me work on, I want to have this tag on here, and this raspberry colored label is, it would kind of also bring that color in. So let me kind of tuck this up here. I'm gonna, well, actually I'm not. Let me, what I'm objecting to here is the perforation. So if it wants to be perforated and distressed, why don't I just go ahead and distress all around. And I think I will leave enough lines showing that this could kind of be a journaling spot. I could do it like that, and then that allows me to put something around over here. There we go. Okay, so that's good there. I'm going to use both sides of this. Right at first, the side I want is the orange. And I'm gonna bring it down as that, or do I want that there? No, it's too pinky. Let's, I'm just gonna cut this. I'm not gonna use the floral part. I'm gonna do this good day, maybe not sure. Didn't plan this out, did I? How about there, here. Now, I don't like it when the words face out. I don't mind it too much if it's kind of in like this. I could do it like that, where it crosses over and that loses its function as a journaling spot, but it's not a bad look, and there's some difference in elevation there, so I'm going to try to bridge that with this foam tape. I'm going to put that there, but I want to make sure I kind of keep it at that angle there. And then now let's add in some of these frames. This one is the only one that's broken, so I'm kind of gonna do it like that. And I'm building up enough layers back here that I probably won't need foam, but I have some just in case. I need to be sure and use this little tag. And I think I have some black and white twine. I like it there, I think. And it's behind that. So this is the same pattern as that, so I could actually bring this in down here. Okay, it's building up. I really like this pop of orange the stitching is on the green side, the pink side. I haven't used that pink, so let me do that. And then I'll use this orange maybe underneath this blue, which contrasts with it so nicely. But you know what I'm afraid I'm doing is making my, no, it's okay. It's okay. I just have to be careful and not have it too spread out horizontally. Okay, so here, now I can use this pink frame kind of like that. And I'm about getting to the end of what I need to be layering with. I do like this orange label. And once I get this on there, I may find a place for it and or the blue one. Okay. Now I've got this that says beautiful day, but I've already got good day here, so I don't need that. Okay, let's pull this back in. And I'm hoping that that isn't too minty to not be a good reflection of this one. Okay, there. I think I've got those things kind of coming in the right place. I am going to use foam just because, you know me, I like all that dimension. And it kind of ties together all of these layers from a physical standpoint. It physically kind of binds them so that they're not as likely to come undone. Okay, so we've got that. I like these. I want them to show. This is kind of sticking up above the top, but that's okay because it'll still fit in the page protector just fine. I see immediately that I would really like this flare right here. And I want a nest around it. So I'm going to pull out my black thread and try to do a decent nest. And I'm watching television with the television happens to be on. I turned it to mute and I glance over at the crawl lines and I'm just horrified. You know, it just, how many, it's like people woke up from the pandemic and they can go places now, at least here, or, you know, they're being told that they can, and they decided that what they want to do now that they have this freedom is go out and shoot a bunch of people. It's just outrageous how many mass shootings. I think there were like 5 this weekend. I don't know what's happening, but anyway. Let's bunch this back up. I didn't have the foam tape. I don't want to cover his face. Okay, there we go. Now that looks like kids running around a football field, right? That's kind of, do you get that reference from that? Okay, and I can even chop that off at the top if I want to, but it really doesn't bother me that it might stick up above the page protector in the album. So I've got this camera there. I like that there from a color standpoint. So I want to put it there before I forget it and kind of start loading up other things. I am not going to put the strip along the bottom like Crystal did. I don't know if you follow Pineapple Papers on YouTube, but you really should. She's amazing. She does colorful and personable kinds of pages, and I love everything she does. I'm going to put this navy blue one. It actually should kind of go more towards the top. Let me see if I have navy blue, or this color blue is more the school colors, but you're not, even in the photo, you're not really seeing that much. So I think I like that there. And then I've got this, which is more of that teal color that we've got in a couple places that I could put right there. And for these, I'm gonna leave them up on top, and I'm gonna do nests for all of them. I haven't done that before. I've done nests for one or two, I think, but never all three. And the nests don't necessarily have to look alike. Here, I did it again. Okay, not being smart here. Okay, get this back up, because what holds that nest together is the foam tape on the back of the flare. Okay, come on. And that is not working. You know why? This is on, it's bridging a gap, and where I want it to stick is the low part, so the adhesive doesn't reach it. So I've got, but it's doing a fairly good job of holding the thread in place. But now I just need to put it on some liquid glue. And I'll just kind of let that, let me set that underneath just so that when I press it, it presses down on something. I don't mind leaving that, well, actually, let me do another piece of this to kind of hold it up, because we are talking a little bit on that wet paper. Now the shine is beginning to develop on that color shine, so that's kind of pretty. Okay, so there. Now this is going to go up here, and I need a nest for it. And my nests are in lieu of the flowers that Crystal has in her layout. And she also has a row of sequins down at the bottom, and I'm going to sprinkle my sequins instead of putting them in a row. Okay, and this guy doesn't have it. I cut an extra one, but I put it on the wrong flare, or by the wrong flare. Okay, so I have, if I went to my manicurist, she would be horrified that my nails are green, but I'll have to assure her it's Heidi Swap Color Shine. Not anything bad. Okay, again, I think you're kind of getting that movement around there, and it's too much movement because this isn't holding down. It's just there's so many different elevations there that the adhesive on the foam tape, I maybe should have done double bits of foam tape, but this'll work. Let me do a little, actually no, I'm not going to put any twine through there. Let me see where I can put some of these puffy stickers. There's one I like. Right here is a kind of a cheetah print, and that's the design that Barrett's sister did on his hair. So I want to put this on here, but I have no idea where. I may just kind of, I have to confess that I'm not very good at using puffy stickers. I think they're cute when I look at them, but I can never figure out where to put them on a page. And I don't know why. I hear people like Christina Sword say, oh, I have to have puffy stickers on every layout. I love puffy stickers. And I love them. I would never say that I hate puffy stickers, but I just they don't show up on many layouts because I don't know how to use them. The little tiny puffy sticker hearts that came in the last Vicky Bouton collection, Hearts and Stars. Hearts and Stars I can use all day, so I may add those. But let's see what we have here. Here's one that says yes, and it's in a color that is that we're using. I don't want to use it over there on this raspberry color because it kind of clashes. But right there, that works. So I've used one here, and what else could we use? There's the wild, there's the lightning bolt. Happy would be good, so I could use a happy over here. The colors are right to use it here. I'm trying to figure out what orientation to use. So I'll kind of put it over here by that flare. And then I'll add in this little blue star. Where do I want to use the blue star? I don't really want to use, it's the wrong blue, and it's not in that kit, so I'm not going to use it. They're cute, but I don't need to use that. Okay, not going to use the twine. I've done all my nests with this black thread. So now I think we're down to these sequins, the stars and the silver circular ones. So I'm gonna kind of trail some down along these drips. I don't know what that's going to look like. And when I say some, I mean some stars of different sizes. A lot of these that came out are fairly large. So let me spread them out and pick some of the smaller ones. The silver ones are kind of almost pewter colored. So I like those, and I may throw one of those in with that. Just put that one there, And let me get a small star here. You know, I think I'm going to do all stars that wouldn't look bad, but someplace else. It's in my little trail of stars here. I don't want to switch away from stars. So I've got this little trail down here. I might do a little grouping of them up here. And I'll have one on this hot pink tag, one kind of over here, and one just a little bit closer to the cluster. And we'll see, I'm going to use this one big one right here. I don't want to push on it because it'll mash it down and the adhesive will sneak out behind it. I'm going to do a big one here and then a small one. I thought there were several different sizes. I'm only seeing like big and little. Okay, here are a few different sizes. That one will work right there. Okay, so is that all I need? I may do a few of the circle ones kind of around and inside the nests. And just in case you ask what mix or where I got these sequins from, these are probably some of the oldest supplies I have, and I have no idea where these sequins came from. It's probably one of those my own my own mix, because things just got out of hand. And let me put one up on here, and this one's actually a black one. I'll kind of have it hanging off a bit, and then I'll get one of the silvery ones for here. And I'm going to get one of these pewter looking ones. Where did they go? Of course, now I'm looking at black and silver. Here's one right there. I'll put it kind of down there. And as for how I did that or why I did that, I don't know. I just was kind of following that streak, and it just kind of came to me. And it could just as easily have, I actually like the way it looks, although I wish I'd started with larger ones here and gone down to smaller ones, but be that as it may, I didn't think that through that deeply. But if it had looked bad, it's obvious when you use wet glue like that. You can see it before the glue dries, and you can always pick it up. So I'm happy with those colors. I was going to see if I could use this somewhere, maybe kind of a bit right there, and let me tear it. Just for a spark of this color. And I will put those sequins away on my own time. I won't make you watch me do that, because they're sticking to my fingers, and it's taking too much time. So let's do a few finishing touches with this little strip of torn paper. I want to get it under the blue. Come on. And under this frame, just a little tiny bit sticking out there. And this little tail isn't particularly attractive, but I'm not going to worry about it. And I don't know that we need any of it over on this side, although it wouldn't hurt to have another kind of a torn element. So it's the black spots that kind of suggest to me the cheetah hair that Barrett has going on there. Okay. And where do I want this? Maybe under there. Why not just right here next to the orange? And that black sequin kind of looks like it's reflective of those black spots. Not much of a difference in the layout in the grand scheme of things there. But now I do have a book of tiny text that I thought I might try to find to go across this flare and this flare. So I'll do that off camera, and you'll see that when I post it elsewhere, because it just, normally I tuck flares kind of underneath. When I leave them out like that, I like to have something on them. But, and I could do, what I had thought I might do is a sequin or an enamel dot or something like that. But actually, I think I'd prefer some words. And I'm going to write down the date here and the score of the game. This was a spring game that, doesn't count for anything. It just allows the coaches to get a look at where the teams might need some work. This actually is working okay to get my sequins out. But it was significant to Barrett and to the other kids who play for Centennial, in that it's their first high school win. For those who are juniors, it's their first high school win. Anybody, I guess seniors may have won some games in 3 years ago. Oh my goodness, I've got these all over my fingers. Look at this. It's just great. Sorry that you're watching that. I'm going to close shop right now, and I did something I told you I wasn't going to do. I like that it's all over this side of the page. If I look at the sketch, it's kind of over this side of the page, and then they've got the title and the number of it. So it seems like there should be something down here, and I'm going to look for something. Let's see if there's anything here. I like the word this. How about that? We could do this, and I could... Can I cover that up? How about, let's see. Ooh, that might work. I tell you what I'm going to do. that's got a little bit of blue there. I'm gonna raise it up, make it a platform, work in this orange strip, and then put a thread nest around that, the word this. We'll see if that, and then I'll try to work this orange strip there. And it's just a balance sort of thing. Let me do that. I'm just gonna have it kind of going right there. And how about if I had another strip of that orange, or another strip of a paper that's up here. Maybe this guy. But you know what? I cut that wrong, so let me see if I can do that. Put it there. And then I'll tear it there, and I'll do the word this kind of across there, but I'll do my nest. And then I'll, put a couple sequins down there, and that'll kind of tie it in. Okay. It seems related to the other cluster because it's a frame and it's repeated, some of the colors and patterns, and it I'm just going to kind of put enough glue there to kind of tack the thread down. I'm going to use some tape on the back, foam tape on the back of this, which is this, which says this. I should tear that little edge, but I'm afraid if I tried to now, oh, come on. Didn't want to do that. This will kind of hold the thread down up against that adhesive. Let me press on that, so, okay. And maybe a sequin here, here, and here. And we'll use the stars because I still have some on the table. I can probably get them to stick to my skin there. And I use this large one because that's what I picked up. Okay, there we go. Now, I think that looks just a little bit more balanced. What I would like is some of that turquoise color down there. And I don't think I have any of that in scraps. Why not? What's the other side of that paper? The other side is that, and I used all of it back behind the photo. So I don't have any teal handy. Let me see if there's any of it in here. Oh, never mind. I'm going to be doing teal splatters. So let's just do that. Let's cover up, pull my paper back up. That's not great. I'll just kind of lay that over the photo there. And I'll pull this. I don't want to get any teal splatters on those. Okay. And some of these are coming out big, which is good. And let me kind of over splatter this area as a way of getting that color there. I wipe it off my mat. And those little bits of orange kind of work to draw your eye down there. And if I had any of that hot pink, I could use that. But I think it's done. Let's look at crystals. It looks different, but it's kind of got the same idea of layers kind of splaying out to the sides, to both sides from the center there. And she has more word sentiments on hers, and I'm going to go look for some to put on the flares. I have no idea whether I'll come up with anything, so you may or may not see any changes in that. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next month for Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. Bye. Be sure and catch, I have all the links to everybody playing along with Off the Board this month, so in my video description, so check it out.